I used to be the worst fisherman ever, but now I catch fish 95% of the time I go out, and I've taught over 100 beginners to catch fish in areas where they're very hard to catch. In this video, I'll show you the 2 things that I did to skyrocket my catch rate. And by the end of this video, you'll have a simple blueprint for catching fish every time you go out, even if you're a complete beginner. I always loved fishing, but I just couldn't catch anything. The worst part was that I enjoyed the outdoors, the fresh air, sunshine, being in nature. But the thing I wanted most was to catch fish, and I was always disappointed. After so many fishless outings, I searched for ways to catch some fish, even just one fish. So one day a friend and I paid for a fishing charter. We'd been told that using a boat was the only way to get to the secret spots where all the fish were hiding. And amazingly, we actually managed to catch a few fish. For the first time ever, we had enough for a meal. I was stoked. But the thing that really bugged me was that I had to pay for a charter. It cost a bit, and I kept thinking, was this the only way? The answer is absolutely not. You see, the first thing that really stuck out during the charter was the number of times we moved spots. I asked the charter captain how he knew what spot to move to so that we could catch fish. He said he was looking for structure because that's where the fish hide. And if you don't have it, you don't get the fish. This made so much sense. And after this, it was something I would do every time I went fishing. I didn't need a boat. I just needed to look for structure. And my catch rate surged. And it's such a simple but effective thing to do. When you next go fishing, look for structure. What's structure? It's those places fish like to hide a lot of the time. So look for anything that a fish could hide in or above or under, even besides. Things like rocks, ridge pylons, piers, fallen trees, overhanging trees, weed beds, you get the idea. But if I cast into structure like fallen trees and rocks, won't I lose my tackle? The answer's simple. Take advantage of structure by casting near it. Place the bait near it so you can lure the fish out of their hiding spot. The second big thing that absolutely transformed my fishing was watching the captain when we got to a new spot. He'd start throwing stuff in the water. He called it burley, and all it was cut up bait, burley pellets and other pieces of food, little food items. He was creating a burley trail to attract the fish, and it worked so well, I just could not believe it. He was luring all the fish in the area straight to our baits. That experience blew my mind. I started doing the same when I went fishing, and I caught fish like never before. So how do you use burley? Well, fish have a very strong sense of smell and sight, but many waters are pretty dirty, so they're not crystal clear, and so the fish have to rely heavily on smell to locate food. To help them find the bait, one, I would suggest using burley by just throwing in pellets directly into the area you're fishing, or you can use it powdered, where you mix it with a bit of water and then you can throw that in. It's highly attractive. Think of it as your advertising. You're telling the fish that food is around. It's like going to a barbecue. You can smell the delicious aroma of steak and onions and sausages long before you see them. The burley does the same thing for the fish. The smell spreads out in the water and attracts them from far and wide. You can use a burley cage. This little cage acts as your sinker and holds the burley. You attach it to your line the same as you would a sinker, and it delivers burley right next to your bait. The burley does 2 things. It stimulates the fish's feeding response and gets them looking for food, so they'll zero in on your bait. Using burley works so well for me that I use it every time I go fishing. If you cut up small pieces of your bait and add that to your burley, you'll get the fish even more interested in exactly what's on your hook. My catch rate exploded with this simple change. And if you want to learn how to catch fish even faster, I've put my free ebook, 5 Secrets to Catching More Fish, even if you've never fished before, to help you do exactly that. So click the link below in the description.